Hear my podcast about sports, about sports, about sports.
Bippity bop bop. Howdy, Ags from the tailgate, home of Aggie football. C Money, what is up?
Hey, buddy. Just recovering from the weekend.
Happy
weekend.
birthday.
Thank you.
Folks don't want to know what people got up to this weekend, man. Those are stories that have to stay untold.
Yeah. It was something else.
Unfortunately, our buddy J Train not making the trip this week, and I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so this will be our only episode this week. We'll be back on next week talking a little bit of Ole Miss. So today's episode, we'll do a quick little recap on some South Carolina, then we're going to go and move into the Ole Miss game, and as usual, finish it up, wrapping up, talking some shit. Today's episode brought to you by Matthews Electric, full-service electrical contractor in the Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up your life.
There you go.
Folks, don't forget to email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. Visit us on the YouTube. Search Ags Tailgate on YouTube to find us there. Subscribe. We love hearing your commentary. Please leave us some comments. Let us know what you want to hear on the show. Let us know if there's something you want to stop hearing on the show. Maybe.
Yeah. Let us know.
Maybe they don't want to hear me talk.
Hurt our feelings.
Maybe they don't want to hear me talk anymore. I will butt out. Let us know, folks. Yeah. Whatever it is. All right, Corey, we're going to get right into it, man, with South Carolina. Aggies beat the Gamecocks at Kyle Field 30-17. They don't cover the spread.
Nope.
Look.
Called it. They did the first half spread, though.
They did the first half spread. That is correct. I'm not going to give this game this sort of this great deal of meaning here, all right? We said it before the game. Winning this game didn't really mean anything, but losing this game would be very bad, right?
It'd cost Jimbo his job.
Huh?
It cost Jimbo his job.
Yeah, this is a South Carolina team coming into that day with two wins on the season. Right, it's a South Carolina team that had been exposed quite a bit, especially up front on defense and on offense, right? It's a team that doesn't really have the same level of talent as even a middle-of-the-pack SEC team. And on top of that, it's a team that was coming off of a situation with the head coach calling out players, kicking shit, and breaking his foot. I mean, there was a lot of things going south for the South Carolina team. And the Aggies, on the other hand, coming off of a bye, right? Coming off of a bye with a chance to try to get right against the perfect team on this schedule to get right against.
Right.
But it's still a win, man. It's still a win. And I think early on in this game, we were a little bit concerned in the first quarter, maybe.
Yeah.
But Corey, tell me, talk to us. What'd you get? What'd you get out of this?
The Aggies are pretty much glad they played South Carolina because, Max still didn't look comfortable as I thought he should. The offensive line protected better against an inferior team. We ran the ball great. There's a lot of holes. They should have, I think they should have had a chance to get bigger runs. They said it on Texas. Our running backs have got to be able to break some tackles. They get hit and go down. It's not good. But, for the most part, the defense looked great. Good to see Edge Cooper out there. I saw a lot of stuff good on defense. I'll be honest with you. Anderson out there looked good. But South Carolina, the only thing I saw about South Carolina, what's his name, the quarterback, Rattler. He's a talent. It's a guy. I feel bad for him being in that situation. I mean, he throws some good balls. I mean, he put a couple passes right there on the money, and he's more athletic than I thought he
I
was.
remember one specifically, and you were pretty impressed, right? Because after we'd seen Max sort of miss passes that were a lot easier, let's say, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, we get some pressure. We get some pressure on Rattler, and I believe it was Coop coming down, about to hit him, and he's scrambling off to his right, and he on the run delivers a absolute bullet to the wide receiver,
In stride. Yeah.
for a first down. I mean, it was a perfect throw. He had no choice but to catch the daggone thing.
Seriously.
And so, you see the guy, he's got a skill set, right? He does have a skill set. But he is inconsistent too.
Yeah. I liked him when he came as a freshman at Oklahoma. Then his second year, he looked terrible. I guess that's the year he transferred out. But the guy has talent. I mean, he is a talent.
Sticking with the defensive side for the Aggies here, I can't say, I really can't say how impressed I am with Cooper right now, dude. I felt like every time we looked up, every time there was a play needed to be made, that dude was making it, man.
Oh, he was everywhere.
Running game, in the passing game, he should have been rushing the passer even more, and they sort of let him sit in coverage some. But man, was he productive, and just big play after big play the way he was going, man. I was super impressed. I've been praising the dude for a while. I think he's got all the physical tools to be a linebacker at the next level with the right tutelage. He can make plays, rushing the passer, covering the pass, and in the run game, right? I mean, the dude was spectacular, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a weakness in the guy this year. We thought his weakness was getting pressure on the quarterback, reading defenses. He's gotten a lot better at that. Because last year he covered people out of the backfield. It seemed like all season that's all he did. He didn't put any pressure. But this year, let's put it all together. Great season. I'm sure it's probably his last one in Aggie land.
It has to be, because, by the way, he's getting the pub now. You heard it during the broadcast, right? Those guys were talking about Cooper throughout that broadcast, about how special he had been this season. He leads the nation in tackles for loss, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure that's true. I'll Google it later. But
it sounded true.
Yeah. Hey, as long as you make it sound good, man.
That's right.
But, the guy's a big play machine. He's a big play machine right now. And not just a big play machine, he's also every down. This year he has been absolutely consistent, getting downhill, always in the run game, doing in the right read, in the right places. I've been absolutely impressed. I said it last year. I thought he was going to have a monster year last year. It didn't come to fruition last year. It's come to fruition this year. He's going to get drafted. He's going to get drafted early.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And remember, we didn't have him in the second half of that Tennessee game.
Yeah.
We missed him, Bryce Anderson, and Walter Nolan, I think, in the second half of that Tennessee game. And, they wouldn't have helped us out on offense, but it would have made that score a lot closer, I believe.
Look, and there's another guy. Bryce Anderson, great to have him back, also making an impact on Saturday. He had a good game. He had a good game. I to a certain extent, I thought there was some of it was the fact that they just weren't real good. Their big wide receiver, who did end up making some catches for him, dropped a couple of them, one early for a first down, right where people hate to get it, right in his hands, And but his receivers, he doesn't have that guy, right? He doesn't have that guy. The Aggies seemed to do what they could to try to take Leggett out of the game, and they limited him. But they went to their other big receiver, and he's big. That's about all I can say about him, really. He's big,
Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with South Carolina at all, other than Rattler, a couple of plays. Our offense, I think we should have scored a lot more on them. I still don't feel like we're aggressive enough in the offensive play calling. We're not. I mean, mixing things up, putting motion in. I mean, I think a couple of receivers dropped some balls. I think Noah Thomas dropped one.
I'll say this, and right before we transition to the offense, because I do want to do that. I thought there were a few times, even defensively, we were a little bit passive, right? Where Elko let it go, three-man rush, especially early in the game. They had two really good drives actually throughout in this game, but it felt like it was in situations where Elko sort of backed off some. He still won't commit to the all-out pressure and the get after guys, right? He won't do it.
And it's not even the all-out pressure, I don't think. If he just brings those three and Coop, as long as he brings Coop, because the guy's getting after people. You know what I'm saying? He's making a difference because you got Jackson, whoever else up front that's going to take a couple of defenders. Diggs was in the backfield a few times.
I thought Fidel Diggs had a great game, actually. Great game. Yeah.
But, I mean, you don't need to send 6 or 7, I don't think. I think you can get pressure with 4 with the talent we have.
I think you do need to bring 5 at times, and for every once in a while 6 maybe, but more 5, 4-5 type pressure, man, and because you do want to give those guys, especially on the defensive line, some one-on-one opportunities. If you bring 5, they have to have one-on-one opportunities, right? You'd love to see, Shamar Turner, who came out with a huge start to the season. He's sort of gone a little bit more quiet. I think he's getting a little bit more attention, maybe get him some one-on-one opportunities. He had some nice plays the other day, though. And McKinley, you talked about it. Walter Nolan, when he's in the game, I don't think he played on Saturday.
So either.
Walter Nolan, would be another good one to get into those situations. So, you've got some guys. Stewart had some plays on Saturday as well, but so you got some guys. I'll tell you a little bit of something. I've been actually pretty impressed with the way Deuce Harmon's been playing out on the corner.
He looked good.
I think he's been doing a pretty good job of covering. You haven't seen him get beat yet. Earlier in the season, we saw some big plays and things like that. Guys wide open. He's been more consistent, I thought.
I think our secondary as a whole is getting better. They're getting healthier. I mean, you get Anderson back there. You have Harmon. You have DeBerry. You have Chappelle. I don't know if Gilbert's been out or what. I haven't heard much of him this year. But, they seem like they're getting healthier. Who'd you say we saw the other day? McCall came in?
Yeah, McCall got some playing time on Saturday as well, and here's another one. I thought they did a better job of getting Damani up in the box at times, right? Like let him play in the box, almost looked like he was playing linebacker, which, by the way, where he probably should be playing.
Yeah, he's not a good defender against the air, against the pass.
All right, so let's go to the other side of the ball. Look, offensive line a little bit better, but like you said, against poor competition, we're probably not going to give him the much praise there. I thought Max was okay. I'm gonna tell you one guy.
His accuracy. I thought he was known for his accuracy, but his accuracy has been throwing the ball at people's feet. He's not hitting receivers where he needs to hit them. Not in the target zone. He's throwing at their feet, throwing behind them a little bit, above them.
Comfortable. He is not comfortable, by the way.
No, and I mean for a good reason. I mean, I watched, our boy Layden Robinson blocking air on a play where Max got sacked and fumbled. And of course, Layden, I think, jumped on the ball because there was nobody around him. He was just watching Max run around. I was like,
he was watching the play. He might as well have been sitting in the stands.
I mean, I don't get it.
And so part of that, like you said, I mean, Max has got to be better getting the ball out for sure. He holds the ball too long anyway, but he also has to be more accurate with some of his throws. There's a couple of times, like you said, low, just missing guys, right? I'm going to tell you a guy that showed up and showed out. That's Anais freaking Smith.
Yeah, he did.
That dude is just a playmaker. That is it. Yeah. Unbelievable, dude. Every time he catches the ball, he does something to try to gain some extra yardage, just, whether he's juking some dude, he's whatever, man. That guy, I'm so impressed with him. And this Saturday just added to it.
Did he muff a punt this week? I know he return one, didn't he? He had a good return.
He had one decent return, but I mean, I don't think anything crazy.
I thought he muffed one punt, but I can't remember. Hell, you were drinking.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the only thing I do remember, Vasantis playing right tackle looked like he's still a step behind pass rush. Was really putting pressure on because that's Max's blind side where Vasantis is, right?
They were still rotating him and Crown over too.
I don't know if they need to leave somebody in to help block over there, or Robinson needs to slide, or Robinson needs to block somebody. Somebody. I mean, he did good in the running game. Watching him. I mean, they had some holes. They had some good holes. Owens had some good runs. I didn't see Moss. I don't know if Moss is hurt.
At all. Moss didn't play.
Yeah, Daniels had good runs, but
I thought Daniels had a really good game. I thought that he was the tailback that probably to me was the most productive consistently throughout the day.
I saw Moss make some good moves. I thought what I'm saying? I thought he was going to bust a couple of them there. He scored that one time. Huh?
Daniels or Owens?
No, I'm sorry, not Moss, but
Owens.
Owens. He had a couple good runs. He scored that touchdown. But he has some moves. If he just it's that one hit thing where they get hit and go down.
Look, Owens is a freshman, right? You're gonna he's gonna figure out the physicality portion of this. I do believe, like you said, he's sort of a natural runner, but Moss is usually the power guy, and he didn't play. So I'm gonna give you one more compliment here. Not you more compliment. I'm gonna compliment.
Go ahead, compliment me.
I thought Max Wright was excellent on Saturday.
He was our best tight end Saturday. And his hands, did you see that catch on the sideline? Remember that one he caught?
What should have been a touchdown, except it was called incomplete.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That thing was ridiculous.
It said the play stands because they called it a incomplete at first. If they would have called a touchdown first, it would have stood too.
What a play. I just thought overall, though, blocking and catching and everything, I thought he was clutch for us, man. I thought he had a big game. His stats don't necessarily stand out, but man, I really thought he was productive in the right moments too.
We should have beat South Carolina by 30, to be honest with you.
We scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter and pretty much did nothing else the rest of the game, right? I mean,
that's typical. Second half we didn't do anything, did we? Yeah. 9 points, 3 field goals.
Yeah, 2 decent drives on the field goals, but once again, you can't finish. You can't get it into the end zone. Same problem we've been having all year, right? The offense is still not quite clicking. They try to force it to Stewart some, and he wasn't. It didn't quite click on that end. We didn't really see much of Noah Thomas. He had a couple, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything.
Did you see Moose at all?
No. I didn't see Moose. Saw Evan, Anias, Noah, Walker, I think.
Walker had some. Yeah, Walker had a nice little catch.
But the thing that is bothering me is that I'm not seeing the adjustments. I'm seeing the same play calling I've seen all season. That's what we're afraid of. This team's not making adjustments. So, I mean, the game coming up, we're going to have to make adjustments because they're going to do some different things, and we're going to have to score some points.
All right, like we said, this is our only show this week, so let's go right into the game because we got to go ahead and preview this. Before we do, any final thoughts on South Carolina? I mean, they're not good.
No,
you should have
probably
won. Should have won. You did win.
I think they're the second or third worst team in the SEC right now, right around Vanderbilt and Mississippi State.
Hey, we'll find out if they're any worse than Vanderbilt because they play each other.
Okay.
All right, so we got the game coming up this coming week, this Saturday at Ole Miss on the road, where we know the Aggies have struggled for like 3 straight years. Look, this is a big game for Jimbo. I think this is a big game for Jimbo. One, we know that there's some back and forth between him and Lane all the time, right? So there's a little bit of that. But more importantly, I mean, for this Aggie team to even come close to the goals at the beginning of the year, they need to win out. And to win out, they got to win this game.
Yeah.
Right? Man, I'll tell you, I'll be quite honest with you. I don't think they're going to win.
I mean, I'll tell you, the thing that gives me optimism, I look at Ole Miss's schedule. They beat Vandy last week 33-7. Vandy. They were at home. Ole Miss was at home. Week before that, they got by
By the way, I just said that I don't know who's better, Vandy or South Carolina. They beat Vandy 33-7. We beat South Carolina 30-17. Who's better off?
South Carolina's better. Well, listen to this.
Okay.
They played Auburn. They beat Auburn 28-21. What did we beat Auburn better than that? They beat Arkansas 27-20 at home. We handled Arkansas on a neutral site. They beat LSU at home in a shootout, 55-49.
We'll
find out how good, huh?
That's a big win.
Yeah, and we'll find out how good LSU is this weekend. They lost to Alabama by 14 at Bama. They beat Georgia Tech pretty handily, who's looking like a decent team. They beat Carolina last week. Georgia Tech did. They beat Tulane, who's a top 25
Don't
team.
make Georgia Tech a good team because they beat North Carolina. North Carolina have now lost to Haynes Kings, Georgia Tech, and Virginia. That makes them not a good team. Go ahead.
Okay. And they beat Tulane. So, I mean, yeah, they've probably played a better schedule than we have so far, but I'm telling you, common opponents.
Maybe the schedules
look
are
at the
comparable.
common opponents. That's all we can look at is common opponents.
Maybe
right?
the schedules are comparable, right? Maybe the schedules are about comparable. The difference is that they're, 7-1?
Yeah.
They're 7-1, and we're what? 5-3?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, does Ole Miss beat Tennessee? I don't know.
They've got a better win than we do in the win over LSU. I promise you that.
Well, we'll see what LSU is. LSU's got 2 losses. They might have 3 after this weekend.
They could. Alabama's fighting for the West for sure.
All I can talk about is common opponents. Alabama, we played tough, right? Did we not? First half. They did too. Ole Miss and Auburn, we beat those teams. So, I mean, spread's 4.5. Our offense, I have faith in our defense will do fine. As long as Darkin keeps the pressure on, we'll do fine. I mean, they're going to score points.
Our defense is going to play. I think our defense is going to play. I agree with you. I think our defense will play. But are they going to hold them under 20 points? No, they're not. They're not going to hold them under 20 points.
I don't know.
I think this is a game that you can win, but you better win it by scoring more than 25. If you don't score 25 or more, I don't think you win it. I don't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think we're going to have a hard time winning this game. I think it'll be a higher scoring game. I think the over will hit. The over is like 53. I think the Aggies will score, 20. Because the Ole Miss defense, I watched them against LSU, and I watched them. They're not that good.
No, they're not. And you're right. I mean, offensively, we should move the ball some, but big but is that there's still that defense is better than South Carolina. You know what I mean?
Well, they have better schemes. They're going to bring pressure the whole game.
They got better players from everywhere. They got better players.
Yeah, they're going to bring pressure the whole game.
And so I guess my point is that this offense, our offense, which we've seen for the last few weeks, for the last pretty much the entire season, let's just say that, is an offense that struggles, especially with Max Johnson at the controls, right?
Yeah.
And they don't inspire a ton of confidence in the sense that they're going to go put up 30 some odd points, right? They don't.
No.
I can't imagine that this thing's going to turn into a shootout. I think that we will be able to make some plays defensively. I think that they're gonna have a hard time to a certain extent with the running game, right? I also believe that there's a chance that this defense can get some points on the board, the Aggie defense, right?
Possibly, yeah.
So I don't know.
Jackson Dart's been pretty good this year for Ole Miss. He's been pretty good. He's impressive.
He has been. With his legs and the arm, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, all in all, and you like what Lane does schematically, right? You always like what Lane does schematically. He normally does a pretty good job of being able to find some open ground, right? He does good things to put his guys in position to make a play. Once again, I mean, hey, look, Judkins is a hoss. Yeah. Dude's a player, playmaker. Like you said, Dart's been playing great, in spite of the fact that you didn't think he was ever going to start this season.
Yep.
They got a couple of guys out there that can catch the football. So you're going to have to play. You're going to have to play. This defense is going to have to play one of its better games, and it's had some good ones. It's going to have to play one of its better games, if not its best game of the season, for the Aggies to come out on top.
My advice to Durkin is to play on their side of the line of scrimmage like we have been when we're successful. Don't overthink this. Don't worry. Yeah, they're going to run the ball. They're going to pass the ball. Make them adjust to our game. Make them adjust to our pressure. If you need to bring 5 or 6 every play, bring them. Get after them. You know what I'm saying? But like you'd rather, you get those quarterbacks moving. That's where they make mistakes.
Man up and be aggressive.
Yes. If you lose this game being aggressive. Don't be passive. Lose this game being aggressive. I can deal with a loss when our team is aggressive.
Right. Offensively, the Aggies have to do something to light a fire here, bro. Because
we need big plays. We don't have any big plays.
They are going to have to do something to create one of those big plays. Somebody's got to come through. I mean, there's got to be a double move somewhere in there to freaking create a guy wide open down the field. How about maybe a little flea flicker in there to try to create a guy wide open down the field? Just something that creates space. Right.
If you're a defensive coordinator and you're game planning to stop the Aggies, what's your plan? I can think of one thing to do. What do you think?
I'm bringing everybody into the freaking box, and I'm going to cover. And first move, I am triggering if I'm in coverage.
Yeah, I'm bringing pressure because our offense can't handle pressure at all. It doesn't matter the situation.
Doesn't matter.
If they put more than 3 or 4 people on the line of scrimmage, if they put 5 people up there and they look like they're going to pressure us, we're done.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I'm bringing pressure. I'm bringing pressure, probably somebody from the second level, along with, maybe, all the defensive line. So, and I'm letting my guys cover, but aggressive on first move. If that guy even thinks about going out, I'm jumping out. If that guy, looks like he's got a slant, I'm jumping the slant. You know what I mean?
And Max has to get rid of the ball quicker. He's got to get rid of the ball. He pump fakes and he ain't got the time to do that kind of crap. He needs to go with his instinct. He sees a guy making a cut, hit him.
He's got to see the field for sure. I want to see
too many 3 and outs. We have too many 3 and outs in our offense.
I want to see these guys maybe run the receiver across, maybe hand it off to one of those receivers on a sweep, maybe fake it to one of those guys on a sweep and do something different, maybe a little bit of misdirection that way.
I don't think we have the athletes at wide receiver to do that with. I mean, you're talking about Anais, Moose, Stewart. I don't think we have it. It's just not a good call. You don't want to get your best players the ball.
I'd love to see us turn the tide on them and go a little bit of no huddle and just fast.
Yeah. Fast. After watching Max Wright last week, I wonder if we should use him more like a Brock Bowers and do some more end arounds with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just thinking Max Wright, Brock Bowers. No, not much. You would do that?
Yeah, no. Only 17 rounds in the draft difference. So, all right. So, look. I think this is, the rest of the season right here. Right here.
No. The rest of the season was Tennessee game.
Yeah, maybe so.
What are you talking about the rest of the season?
Look, but this
The rest of the
team,
season.
we're
going to
has
lose.
fix.
We're either going to lose one or two more games, I think. Either we're going to lose this one and LSU, or we're going to lose LSU and this. I mean, one or the other.
This team has to fix its road problems, man. Has to.
Well,
here's your chance.
It's not just the road problems. You're talking about fixing the offensive line problems, the play calling problems. It's not a road problem. It's coaching problem.
All right. Well, I don't think they're going to fix those this week.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm worried. It's not going to happen. You go to a loud environment. I mean, last time we were on the road, I don't think what's his name could snap the ball to Max. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point, and we got to get a better. We're definitely going to need better performance on the road from our center to start off. Right.
The whole offensive line. I mean, I don't know. It's tired of talking about the offensive line, how bad they are. I'd love to say something good about them. I'm trying to think of something good. They opened some holes this weekend.
Hey, that hole that Owens ran through for the touchdown. He did not get
Max. Max seemed like he had a little bit more time, but that's what I'm saying. Max's decision making, he had more time, so he felt like he had more time, but then he held the ball too long and still got sacked.
South Carolina had 13 sacks all year coming into this game. They had 3.
I didn't even see Max go through a progression, to be honest with you. I see him back there, but I'm not sure what he's doing. Is he going through a progression, or is he just holding the ball?
Go watch him, because no, he's not going through a progression. Because you know why? How you know that? I
don't see his head. I don't see this. I don't see his eyes.
All day on Saturday and all day yesterday on Sunday. And you see these quarterbacks and you watch them. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. And they're back and forth even.
Yeah.
And Max?
But they're quick. They're quick about it. Exactly. Are you frozen?
No, but I was. That's Max. That's Max.
I got you.
I mean, it is, and it's frustrating, man. Like he sees something pre-snap, and he's going to stay with it because that is his only choice. That is it. That is it. You know, if that guy doesn't get open, the hell with it. I'm going to just continue to hold the ball. And that's got to be better, man. That's got to be better, which means somehow I understand that this has been a problem for him since day one as a player, a college football quarterback.
Yeah.
It has been. It's been a problem for him forever. But if you're the coach, you've got to do something to help him through that process and get him past that issue. Something.
Yeah.
He's a freaking fifth-year player by now, dude.
Well, he's an old dog, dude. It's going to be hard to teach him new tricks.
All right, new tricks. So what was the spread in this one?
4.5 is what I saw. Who you like? You liked Ole Miss?
Huh? Yep, Ole Miss.
I said the over. So, I mean, I think it's going to be Ole Miss, I'll say 35 to 27. I'm taking Ole Miss. Because we haven't won on the road. I don't see why we would change that against a team that's number 11 in the nation at 7-1. That's good.
I got to count field goals in here. Hold on. 3, 6, 9. I might go 19 to 29.
Who's got 29?
Not the Aggies.
I'm taking the under, huh?
Look, I've seen our offense play all year, man. They kick a shit ton of field goals.
Dude, Auburn scored 21 points against this team.
Yep.
Arkansas scored 20.
I hear you.
I don't see why the Aggies can't score at least 20.
Oh no, I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't, right? There's no reason they shouldn't. I'm just telling you that I don't have any faith. I have faith in a lot of field goals. Maybe they have 5 good drives that all end in field goals.
Yeah. Well,
so,
let's see. All right.
A couple of games from this past week, man. Anything that impressed you? I thought two things that impressed me.
Who? Arizona?
Well, no, but yes. I thought Oregon and Georgia both impressed me.
Yeah, Georgia without Bowers. I mean, Well, I mean, Florida is different. I mean, dude. Well, this week is going to be the telling tale. There's a lot of good games this week. A lot of good games. Last week, not as many good games. I mean, Oregon beat the hell out of Utah, right? Which
Beat the mess
Oregon
out.
should be undefeated. They should probably be undefeated. I think they're the best team in the
If
Pac-12.
Lanning doesn't make 2 or 3 just boneheaded decisions in that game against Washington, they'd be
Yeah,
undefeated.
not kicking that field goal before halftime was the dumbest thing I've seen all season, or one of the top 5.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jimbo's done 4 of the things that are right up there. But no, anything. What do you got? What else you got from this weekend?
I thought, look, and Oregon, yeah, for sure. I also thought Georgia absolutely showed their dominance in that game. And, we've been giving them shit all year. They really hadn't played anybody, and they still haven't. Really, I mean, if you go look at their schedule, they eventually, actually after this week, Ole Miss plays them next week. So, but so, I thought Saturday's the best they looked all season, and it's crazy because we're saying that's the best they looked all season in spite of the fact that they lost Bowers.
Maybe they were depending too much on him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Real quick, this week there's a lot of good games. A lot of good games. K-State, Texas. That's gonna be a good game. K-State 6-2, Texas 7-1. Texas, do they have viewers back? I don't know. Line's 4. Texas -4.
Wow. Yeah, I think Texas. Hey, look, Texas gonna have to play in that one, man. Kansas State is tough. They show up in big games on top of that. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Another good game. You got Notre Dame at Clemson. Clemson 4-4 this year. Is this a down? I mean, it's a bad season for Clemson. 4-4. Notre Dame's -3 on the road.
it's crazy even on the road, but I'd probably take Notre Dame. There's Alabama, LSU.
Big game here. Missouri at Georgia. Georgia -16.
Another big game. Yeah.
Big game.
I like the points. I like the points in Missouri. How about that?
Whew, okay. Another game. Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. Can you say rivalry?
Bedlam is huge this year. Bedlam is huge. The winner of this game might have a leg up on the Big 12 championship, by the way.
I'll tell you, Oklahoma State surprised me after a slow start, and I've watched them play a couple times. They're 6-2. Oklahoma's 7-1.
The winner of this game will make the Big 12 championship. How about that? I'm just going to put a declaration out there.
Your team that we've liked all season, James Madison, 8-0 on the road at Georgia State, 6-2. It doesn't sound like a big name game, but Georgia State 6-2. James Madison undefeated all season. James Madison -5.5 on the road.
Hey, look, James Madison playing to try to get into a New Year's bowl game, right? I mean,
are they eligible? Somebody's telling me they might not be eligible because they haven't been around long enough.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Is that one of those shitty ass rules by the NCAA that keeps these guys out?
Yeah. Couple more big games, real quick. This is a funny line. Kansas, who is now ranked number 22 in the nation, coming off a win against Oklahoma, right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
At Iowa State. Iowa State 5-3. Iowa State's favored by 2.5. Thoughts?
They're at home.
That's just a weird line to me.
They're at home.
Iowa State hasn't showed me much this year. I can't believe I didn't even think they were 5-3. I thought they were like,
hey, all they've been doing lately is winning.
Maybe. All right, big game. Washington at USC. Washington -3.5.
Yeah, give me Washington all day. I think they're going to score 60 on USC. I'm pretty sure.
I can see that too. This is actually a pretty big game now. UCLA at Arizona. Arizona 5-3. UCLA 6-2. UCLA on the road -2.5. You taking Arizona?
Man, Arizona's been pretty darn good lately.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their schedule; they've been beating teams that they didn't think they were going to, and they've been playing other teams tough.
Yeah, I have been impressed with what they've done. I mean, and clearly they started the season off a little slow, trying to get in, but that coach has made a big difference on that program. And all of a sudden, those guys are competing, and that's something to be said about where they came from, where they were last year, where they even started the season off, and where they've gotten to so far. I'm impressed with what they've done. You may want to call that coach and see if he's available.
Yeah, he's done good. He's starting a freshman quarterback, by the way. The
Impressive.
biggest game probably of the weekend, I think LSU at Alabama. Bama -3.
You know, this game, I mean, it's the flavor of the week, though, right? Because it depending on who wins this game, you know, obviously the winner's got a good track on the West, but what happens if it's LSU? What happens if Ole Miss wins this weekend?
Yeah, chaos. Love
All
it.
of a sudden, you're gonna get into. There's gonna be some interesting shit at the end of the year when a couple of teams are all sitting right there with one West loss and they've all beat each other, and then it's a matter of tiebreakers. You know?
Yeah. That's what sucks. The Aggies lost to fucking Tennessee. We could be right there in that conversation.
Yeah.
But who you like in that game? You like Alabama or LSU?
I've said it all year long, man. I think Nick Saban is going to have one of the better years. I think he's dialed in right now. I think that that team got motivated with the loss to Texas. I think that they are better defensively than they have been in a while. And I think that their guy, the quarterback that everybody wants to talk shit about, does nothing but make big plays.
Does that
And
defense hold LSU to under 30?
I think the defense holds LSU under 30, and I think they give up 40.
So you're taking the over, huh? The over under
Taking
60.
the over. I'm taking the over. And I'm
Alabama?
Alabama. Yeah.
All right. It's a 2-team parlay right there, folks. You heard it live.
You heard it live. Put
Make
your
some
house
money. I'll bet one of the houses.
All right, questions from the tailgate brought to you by Frida Homes, building Aggie dreams. Custom home builders with over 15 years of experience in the Brazos Valley. If you're looking for someone that cares about you and the details you care about, contact Frida Homes. Call Justin at 979-450-4466. When you call, just remember, everybody loves.
Everyone loves. They're Frida Homes.
All right, question number 1. Corey, looking at this game on Saturday, matchup with Ole Miss.
Yeah.
If the Aggies pull it out, pull out a win here, do you give them a chance? Do you give them a chance to close out the season with wins against every other opponent?
No. LSU at LSU. That's going to be tough either way you look at it. Because LSU can score against anyone. And we can't.
I probably agree with you. And I'm going to say this. I can't express how impressed I have been with Daniels, my friend.
Yeah, because that's why I'm giving them a fighter's chance against Alabama.
I did not give him enough credit at the beginning of the season. I did not give him enough credit for the things he's done. I am thoroughly impressed with that dude. He has absolutely developed as a quarterback. It's impressive to watch him because it seems like he makes the right decision every freaking time. Like, even when he needs to leave the pocket and run, right?
Yeah.
Like, in big moments, that dude makes a play.
If LSU's defense wouldn't have let them down like they had this year, they would be pretty damn good because they can score. I mean, with him and those two wide receivers, that's a tough. They're tough.
Yeah, those guys are great. I'd love to see him in an Aggie uniform with an offensive coordinator like the one he has, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to see him in an Aggie uniform. Maybe I just want to see the offensive coordinator. Maybe. Anyway. Question number 2 here, Corey. Given what you saw on Saturday against South Carolina,
Yeah.
does this season go well enough the rest of the way for Jimbo to keep his job?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're going to lose, I think, at least one, maybe 2 more games. We'll be 7-5. I think 7-5 is our worst case. I think we beat Mississippi State no matter what. And I think we beat Abilene Christian. So that's our other 2 wins. It's 7, right? 2 more losses, 7-5. A 7-5, it gets you in a bowl, which isn't going to be a good one. But I don't think so, man. I mean, I think people are fed up with it because it's been the same thing year after year after year after year. We've had the one COVID year that was good. Other than that, what can you hang your hat on?
Nothing.
And we beat Alabama, 2 years ago or something like that? Right? With Calzada?
Yeah. I agree with you. I think 7-5 is what our record. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to Mississippi State, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd be very surprised with us.
I don't expect us to lose to Mississippi State. Let me be clear about that. I expect us to win that game.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be fully surprised.
I'd be very surprised.
But I would expect 7-5 is where we finish the regular season. And, you're right. I think people are just fed up.
Yeah.
They're fed up because every time he opens his mouth, he says the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to make any changes to do it to anything. He doesn't want to, it's just frustrating. And every time he opens his mouth, he says execute 100 times. And it's just like,
and it sucks. It sucks because we're gonna lose a lot of our best players if we do lose Jimbo. But you gotta stop the bleeding somewhere. Yeah,
gotta go.
I mean, we might lose. Who knows? We could lose a lot. I'm talking a lot. But if we do, we do. We'll rebuild. Because right now, where we're at, we're going to keep doing this.
There's no excitement in the program. There's no hope. There's nothing. Just like I was around that campus this week, man, and there's no life on that campus right now, man.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
No,
not the same. And to me, if you ask me, that's worth the $77 million.
Yeah.
At least when somebody else is paying it and not me.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, Corey. Happy birthday, my brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, buddy. Let me go take care of my daughter. I've heard her screaming there for about a good 10 minutes.
There you go. Good times. Good times.
You hear that in the background?
Great. I don't listen that well.
Good. You're good at blocking that out.
Giga Maggies.
All right, buddy.
AP from the tailgate.